All right, guys, going to do a little bluegill fishing here late in the afternoon. Trying to catch some bluegill for some catfish bait. Got a precision cast rod from Catch the Fever, and just a little short rod. Got some clear monofilament on it. This is some of their slime line, and I think it's probably 6-pound line. Got a little Runsel reel on the money making end. I've got a very small number 8 octopus hook. That is a J hook. The bait we're going to use, some red worms. Good old pack of red worms. Y'all seen me do this before. I do not put an entire worm on there. I pinch a little bit off and just enough to cover up the hook. Then we're going to go right down this bank and see if there's some fish on it. It's a bunch of overhanging limbs here. It looks like a good place. We'll pull over there and see what the lake's got for us. Got a few fish back in here. It is May, and guess what? We got a full moon, so guess what that means? Some fish are gonna be on the beds, which is good. We may end up in the back of this little cove here. That's most likely where those fish are gonna be. So my glasses off, sun's kind of behind the trees here. We're gonna see what we can find back in here. Like I said, a bunch of low overhanging tree limbs. Perfect place for them. Just see what the lake's got for us. Get that boat back down a little bit. Using my trolling motor to get me up close. We'll cast up here on the bank. See what we got. Got it about 18 inches deep right now. Might have to put a little bit of weight on it. That thing's super light. That ain't got hardly any weight on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a piece of split shot on there or something. There's a bunch of fish right up in there. I got a feeling some of these may be crappie sitting up here. I'm gonna need a split shot on there, I think. We'll see. The lake's come up a bunch. Had a lot of rain here the past couple days, and it's come up a lot, but it's stayed clear so far. I got a feeling some of these babies are right up there on that edge. There's one popping on it. Got him. Got him. Boom. What we're looking for. Good little fish. Get a hold of him there where I can show him to you. Yes, sir. Nice little bluegill. Good bait-sized fish. Let's see how many's in here. I just have to go with this cork without the weight on it for now. I'm gonna see. It's probably just letting the bait fall really slow down, so get it in the strike zone a little bit quicker. If we had like a 30-second out split shot on it, I'll have to see if I got one. Could just put a jig head on it. Right there. Oh, there he goes, there he goes. Boom, got him. He come up out of the water. I like that. There we go, it's a better fish. Get out of that throat, come out of there. Pliers here. There we go. If you hadn't got any of these yet, guys, get you some. Catfish Pro has them now. Catfishpro.com. Boom. Uh-oh, he's gonna be dead. That ain't good. Oh well, he's getting his head cut off anyway. A little more bait on there. Again, just a little bit of worm. So you don't need a lot. They'll hit it. That's all it takes. Let's see. Got a little bitty bullet weight. It's a little bit heavier than I wanted. I'll try pinching it a little ways up the line. See if that'll put it down there deep enough. I really need to wait more than anything. That's better. It'll get down quick enough, I think. Shoot, got him. Oh yeah, these fish are in here. What is this, 3 casts and 3 fish? They are in here. They are in here. Better looking fish there. They do. Heck yeah. Good looking bluegill. Nice one there. What I may do is just slide this weight right up to the bobber. I need the weight more than I need it falling. It'll fall plenty quick enough. That way, that weight doesn't interfere or spook them in any way. I'm gonna back my boat up just a little bit here. Oop, 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 oop. Yep, stayed hooked up, stayed hooked up. Stayed hooked up. Yeah, these things are on the bank solid right now, guys. Solid. They're up there, nice and thick. Bam, bam. What we got there? That one stopped. Boom, got him. That's a smaller one, but we'll take it. Another fish there. How many is that? 4 or 5, I can't remember. I need to get my clicker out. That way I can keep up with how many I got here. I'm gonna call it 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I think it's 4 actually. I know it's been one on every cast. That motor turned. I'm kind of into a wind-blown pocket here. It's not the best setup. Got a tree stump right off behind me here. Not the best setup. Got him. Like a little more shield from the wind, but it is what it is. Boom, another fish. Dude, we're I'll take the clicker out of my pocket. Boom. Stop the boat there. Like I said, first moon in May, generally speaking, it's spawn time. And anytime you can find any of these dark bottoms, which is what I'm kind of on right here, you can usually find some spawning fish. Generally, you get all the way back into a pocket, you're better off, but usually you can find them in here. So that's just one of them, that first full moon in May, that's always the old timers like way of gauging it, just like you hear about the dogwoods and everything else blooming. There's all these things that are generally pretty accurate. It has nothing to do with those things, but it's more of a timing thing than anything. Boom, got him. Especially with like dogwoods, there's the time of the year when they start to bloom, and that's when you hear about the crappie and everything else. Okay. Another one. Good bait fish there. And yes, just so everybody knows, there'll be a few people that ask, we can use bluegill in North and South Carolina as bait, as cut bait, live or cut bait. They have to be caught on rod and reel. That's why you see me out here catching them this way instead of with a cast net. Of course, where they're at right now, you would tear a cast net up, throwing it up on the bank like that to catch them. But that's kind of the deal here. Not all y'all get to do that. It's that may be the first time we have not caught a fish on the cast. I got a little bit off the bank there, but not everybody can do it. There's some states where you cannot fish with game fish. Some states where you can't fish with bluegill, whatever the case may be. But got him. And you know, they may not be as prolific as they are here. We've got a lot of them here. They're very widespread. We got a ton of them. As you can see, they're plentiful. They make an excellent catfish bait, especially in the springtime. You can use them as a live bait or as a cut bait. Usually what I'll do is I'll put them out live, let them get hit 2 or 3 times, which is usually what ends up happening. Something will come up and strike them, and then we'll turn them into cut bait. But a great bait either way, and it's not just in the spring. It's really anytime you can get your hands on them. It's just they become easier to catch once that water temperature's above 60. You get to 65, 68 degree range, it's even better, and we're sitting in 76 degree water here, so it's prime time for catching them. So, but yeah, we had some pretty good rains, and what's happened is we've had a big inflow of water But the good news is it's not muddy right here. Basically, the lake level's up. They're pulling a lot of water through the system, trying to get it out. And, there he goes, boom. And, oh, missed him. That's kind of what's going on. So, will it be muddy by tomorrow? I do have a guide trip tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There'll definitely be some current, definitely be some water moving, and that'll be hopefully a good thing for the bite. By the way, if you're looking for a guide trip, go to my website, DieterMelhornFishing.com. There's the contact information where you can get a hold of me. Love taking people fishing. We do catfish mainly. We'll take you bluegill fishing. I actually started doing some little afternoon summertime get out trips, kind of like this areas, to get people out if you just want to take kids fishing or something. I try to blame it on the kids, but I honestly love fishing for these things. I'll be honest with you. I love fishing for them. They're fun to catch, so get them in there. Good looking fish. Pretty fish, good colors to them. Boink. Get that hook around the end of it. But yeah, we got some storms in the area this afternoon. I thought we might get hit with one of these pop-up storms. That's one of the bad things in the summer is a lot of times there's always a chance you're going to have some. So it is what it is. Gotta get back in the sweet spot here. Any of you folks that are bank anglers, these things would be easy to catch for you. They'd be right off the bank. Your biggest problem would be spooking them as you're standing on the bank. That is one of the things that they are very wary of. They keep an eye out for predators, and looking on the bank is where one of their biggest predators is, and that's the herons that sit out here. So that is why I try to sit a little bit off the bank when I'm fishing here. But got him. Perfect. I missed him. Perfect world. You get up there and you can cast to them. Get up fairly close, but you can also spook them doing that. So if you can stay up off of them a little ways, it will help with getting the bites. Boat's kind of out of position. Normally I'd be up on the bow, but I've kind of got my camera holder here in position, so it works better. Get this over here. We got a lot of trees and a lot of bank down through here. I'm just trying to work this little area right here just to see what's in here, and then I'll pull on down. If I can get a pocket of them biting, boom, got him. I'll fish them, and I'll keep fishing them. There he is. Another one, a little smaller one. I don't discriminate. I'll take them any size I can get them. And a lot of people, you know, like to use crickets. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. All kinds of different little bluegill brim bait combinations. Some people like jig fishing for them. I'm not that patient or that skilled, so I go with a little more of the easy bait, as I say, easy bait. So see if these babies will continue to eat. I got something here I'll give a shot in a second. Boom, got him. That's a better fish. Got some chum pods in here. That is a green sunfish. Not my favorite bait, but I'll put him in the boat anyway. I'll put him in there anyway. Show you what I got here. Get my boat kind of in position. You may have seen me use these things before. They're called chum pods. It's basically a little, they look like a Tide Pod, except they got fish food in them, like that. And that stuff dissolves. What I'll do is I'll throw a couple in the water back there where I'm going to try to fish. see if I can get them fired up a little bit. But yeah, they're just a little like Tide Pod looking thing. And they dissolve in the water, biodegradable. And it's a great way to get them feeding. Actually, I believe those things may be on the Catfish Pro website now. I think they may be selling them. I came across those guys years ago out at the Catfish Conference, and I got to know them, and they gave me some of these things, and I've used them freshwater fishing like this, and also used them, but oh, they're in there. Used them down at the coast saltwater fishing, so they work. Fish will eat the food coming out of them. And dropped it. It might be a little bit deep. It's a great way to get them chummed up, at least get them feeding and active. Looking for something to eat. There. Got him. Okay. Boom. Another one. See if that gets them eating. One thing I've always said, and it's true in the bluegill world too, action brings action. Oh, missed him. A little slow on the strike there. Action brings action. You get it fish feeding, get them eating. They see a fish, sense a fish feeding, and they too will eat. Part of the reason I fish with a perch rod in the water, even when I'm fishing for catfish, it will, if you can get some of them babies eating, there we go. You can get some of them eating, you'll be in good shape. There's an aggressive one. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, you get on, I just happened to roll up to the right place this time. And poof, they were here. Sometimes you have to scour the bank looking for them. Sometimes it can take a minute. And that's why I'll just kind of cruise up and down the bank. I don't give my baits a long time. I cast in there and I'm looking for fish that are active and feeding. It's almost like bass fishing. I'm looking for the ones that are hungry. And I'm not gonna sit there with a bobber in the water in the same place for more than about 20 seconds or so. That's about out of bait, but I feel like I can get one more on that little bait. I feel like I can get one more. Oh, and I was right. There he is. There he is. Boom. A smaller one. Good one. That's all that bait was. I mean, I was down to that. That's a little bitty piece of bait. Again, octopus hook, number, I think that's a 6. I thought it was an 8. I think that one may be a 6. And then just a peg float. That is not even sliding. I've just got it pinched off with the cork, holding it in place there. That exact depth. Getting into here. It's a little bit, just enough to cover the hook up. Up. Boom. Got him. Now, is there a good time to catch bluegill and bream? Yeah, I mean, this spring, summer is good. May, right now when we're fishing, is prime time. I mean, this is the time to be out here fishing for these things, especially if you've got access, like I said, to some shallow water, back of a cove, a pocket. Anytime you see a dark bottom, one of those bottoms that's had a bunch of leaves in it and stuff, that seems to be the primo place, especially if it's getting some sunlight. I think that heats up a little bit more and just puts them in that sweet spot for spawning. So that's kind of what we're hitting here. You got a combination of some overhanging trees so they can seek shade out if they need to. Boom, got him. And boom, they're loaded up. They are loaded up in here. Good population of them this year, it looks like. There we go. Boom. Got him. And again, these are not giants, but good bait-sized fish. Got about a dozen. What I'll do is I'll catch me probably 20. And I need to be greedy with them. I'm also got some gizzard shad for my trip tomorrow. So we'll have a little sampling of bait. No chicken, believe it or not. I'm going to be anchored up a bunch tomorrow. We are going to be trying to pick off some of these fish in some of this rising water, shallow water, that are not exactly feeding on mussels. They're either going to be pre-spawn staging or chasing shad and possibly some of these bluegill up shallow. So I'm going cut bait, live bait tomorrow. That's kind of the plan. So I'm going with the live stuff. Just to show you, I don't always use chicken. Now, if I go ahead and get my, ooh, got him. If I go ahead and get my butt kicked tomorrow, well, you can guarantee you that the next day on the guide trip, day after tomorrow, I'll have some chicken. But that's a little one, but they'll all catch fish. You'll be amazed some of the fish we've caught on some tiny, tiny baits. That's a perfect setup right there. We got some brush, dark bottom, shallow, cover, overhanging brush. It's just the perfect combo of stuff. Biggest thing you don't want, it's not that you can't catch them there, but like, you know, a sandy beach or something like that can be tough. You get in a place where you start seeing a bunch of riprap, a lot of times you'll get into some of the green sunfish and even the warmouths in there. But I like a leafy bottom. I like some brush, and ideally some overhanging stuff. I just think when you've got some overhanging limbs that they can duck under, not to mention you get stuff falling off of those limbs, especially when you get some of these later on here in another month or so. You'll have mayflies hatching. They'll be up on these limbs. They'll fall into the water with a good breeze. So it's a good setup. I'm going to just sweeten the bait up on that one, I believe. I think she got a little bit low. Boom. Sweeten it up. I'm going to make it look like a jig. Oop, got my net. Boom, in there. Yeah, this is a pretty good haul of fish pretty quickly. Let's see if I've kept track of them. Like I said, I try not to be greedy with how many I catch. I catch what I can keep alive, catch what I can use. And I'll also generally won't work a place to death like this, you know. Matter of fact, I may make a move on down. I'm kind of hitting little areas. So one good thing about this is most of these places, they reload with fish pretty quickly. A lot of times, especially if it's a sweet spot as far as what's on the bottom, there are certain areas where fish want to be, and these will reload. That's a good looking fish there. That's a perfect one. Oh yeah. I'm almost going to bet, I'm going to creep down here a little bit further. I'm almost willing to bet these are females. I have not seen any of the males that are on the beds with the super dark colors yet. I think some, I don't know, I think some of them may be further back into this cove here. But I haven't seen any of those. A lot of times these things are kind of like catfish. They'll start to get really dark, get some really dark coloration to them. And they look mean, they look pretty, they look bucked up, as I call it, little buck brim. And let's see if there's any around that tree. There's got to be one right there on that tree. Got to be one underneath that tree. That just looks like a perfect little place. One thing I don't like is that red clay bank over there. I'm not up, he hit it. He swirled on it anyway. I like this over here a little bit better, but not all sure here. Could be some in there. Let's get right over here. This is a little place that just looks good. And after you've done this for a while, you'll kind of I don't know, you'll get a feel for places that should have fish. It shouldn't have fish, to be perfectly honest. That first place I pulled on, big leafy bank, it looked like there'd be some fish. It looks like there's some fish, should be some fish on this bank. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the red clay bank, especially the rutted out places. I'm gonna try it just to see. But there can always be one. Sometimes you can't see what's right below the surface in these places. And boom, he got it, he ran with it. There we go, there we go. Got him, boink, got him. Boom, boom. I think there's some to be caught right here. I think there's some fish to be caught right. Boom, he hit it as soon as it hit the water. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes they just look fishy. That one inhaled it. Boom, still got him. He inhaled that one. Get it on there. Click them off. How many are we up to? We got 14 on the clicker. That's a good bunch of fish there. Oh, missed him. Jerked that one out of his mouth. Matter of fact, he got the bait and everything. I had a feeling that bait wasn't on there super good. Chunk me. Get these chum pods out of here. See if we can get them eating in there. If that works. Put a little meat down there. A little bit bigger piece of bait than I need, but that's okay. Okay. You can see about how deep I got that. I don't know. 2 feet maybe? Maybe that far? I don't even know. Let's get them back in there and see if that works. Something popped it. Again, a lot of times if you get in an area where they are on beds, these fish will be just basically protecting the nest. And then sometimes they want to eat. They're hungry. Maybe a little bit further up on the bank there. Oop. There we go. There's got to be one right there at that limb. There's a limb underwater I can see. Yep, he is there. He is there. Oh, that's a little one. Hey, it's harder to catch a little fish than it is a big one. I'll let him go. I won't even put him on the clicker. I'll add him to the tally, but not to the kept. How's that sound? Yes, sir. One thing, it does help if you can halfway cast. Just because there are limbs in the way, but there's plenty of places where you don't have to get that close to the cover. I'll throw one in the tree before it's over with today, I guarantee it. And you don't have to use spinning gear. If you just want to come out here with the kids and use some spin casting gear, you can do that too. Matter of fact, I may tape another video while the fishing's good and come out with some spin casting gear, and just show you can catch it. I got old Zebco 202 I just did a video on, and man, I don't know how many fish I caught as a kid using one of them babies. I'm sure a bunch of y'all same way. You probably caught thousands of fish with those things when you were a kid. They were cheap, easy to use, pretty much available at Sears. Boom, got him. That's where a lot of the old fishing tackle came from back in the day. We didn't have a Walmart, didn't have a small one. I'll keep him though. Didn't have a any really big sporting goods stores. Kmart kind of came along and had some stuff, but Oh, how times have changed. Now you want something that I'm using right here. You just pull up your phone and you order it on Amazon, and it'll be there maybe tomorrow. Depending on what time of day you order it, it may be there that afternoon. Especially if you're near a big metro area like I am, to where you've got a lot of big distribution centers. It's crazy. It's a different world. Things I love about it, things I don't love about it. Boom, you got him. But another one of those sunfish, pretty colors. Bottom line is, it is what it is, and we can't change it. You learn to live with it. Trying to get me 4 more. If I get 4 more, I'll have 20. That'll be plenty to fish with. And the way this bite is, if they were only hitting bluegill, we could come back and catch some more. So, boom, loaded them up. Yes, sir. It's funny, it's almost like you got to give them time to eat the chum pods, all the chum out of them, and then start throwing your bait back in there. Well, I'm sure when those chum pods are dropping there, probably once they get a taste for that, they're like staying on that. Now, come on, babe. No, he moved it. He moved it. He got the bait. Baby got the bait. There is a part of me that wants to go to the back of this creek and this super shallow stuff, but looks like some people are camping back there. I hate to go riding up in their little camp area where they've been chilling out. I'm gonna leave them alone, let them be. I do see one more spot though down here. Let's pull down to it. Just see real quick if there's anything in there. See if we can get around this tree. There's a tree laid out through here. A little turtle laying on the tree right there on the edge of it. This looks like a place right up here I ought to catch a fish. Well, bad news, trolling motor battery's dead. So I'm done. How many did we end up with? I end up 17. Not bad. Had to back the boat off of there. But it's pretty good round of fish. No complaints. No complaints. It'll teach you to check your trolling motor battery. Actually, I knew it was low. I was going to see how much I could get by with. But one thing to keep in mind on the lithium batteries is once they get down to a certain voltage, they will shut down. And that's basically what happened with that one. So I don't have my spare. Generally, I carry a spare, but I didn't this time. So anyway, good fishing. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Catch you out on the water.